idea where she could be?
No, she'll leave during the day, and she's never left overnight.
Does she have any enemies that you can think of that would?
I can't think of anyone.
Very hesitant answers. The husband, Josh Powell, doesn't have many answers about what happened to his wife, Susan. Her father told me here on Issues the couple had their problems, but were working them out.
They'd had issues, but they had worked through the issues or were working through the issues. And some of the problems were related to financial situations in their life, but they had both, Josh had recently got a steady employment, and basically it seemed like it was a normal family, actually.
Phone lines lighting up on this mystery. Betty, Ohio, your question or thought, ma'am?
Yes, Nancy, thank you so much for taking
Jane,
my call.
but yeah, but it's great to hear from you.
I appreciate you so much and all the news people. My question is, has this man taken a lie detector test?
Oh, excellent question. Emily Morgan, Deseret Morning News reporter. What do you know about the investigation and a possible lie detector?
At this point, I don't believe that Josh Powell has taken a lie detector test. Police haven't indicated that in any way. I know they're seeking to interview him again, but we haven't heard anything about that at this point.
Well, he was supposed to be interviewed yesterday. There was a scheduled interview, and the published reports are that he didn't show up, and that police are now saying he's hindering the investigation. What do you know?
Well, I just know that it's been really frustrating for police, I think, as the case becomes, as time goes by and it becomes more high profile, there's kind of pressure to come up with some sort of answers, but they're saying that they have very few leads, and as Josh Powell was the last person to see Susan Powell, that's kind of who they're relying on in terms of where to go from here. And so,
what about the snow? What about the snow? I mean, the snow is going to, we see the video of the snow outside the house, and we can show that again. That obviously complicates the search for her, and God forbid the search for a body. We don't want to think in those terms, but obviously law enforcement has to think in those terms. And it also compromises the ability to corroborate his statement about going camping, because, Brenda Wade, the campsite where he said he went is covered with snow, so there's no way to see if he had prints there or even tire marks.
Right. There's a lot about what he's saying, Jane, that I'm sure is as difficult for you to buy as it is for me. There are a lot of holes in his story. Now, lots of couples, especially in this economy, are having economic troubles, but it doesn't mean that a couple's going to fall apart, someone disappears. It just doesn't make sense. I'm really sorry, but I think that the way that this guy is answering, the way that he is not coming forth with something that actually makes sense to any of us who are thinking it through, it really looks very suspicious to me.
You know what, I'm sorry, Jane, but guesswork and speculation does not create a criminal case. You got to come up with some hard evidence. You got to come up with some scientific evidence. You can't create a case based on guesswork, and that, unfortunately, is what's being done here.
Well, they don't have to deal with a lot of guesswork, quite frankly, because I'm sure that the police are probably talking to everybody that they can find that knew Susan as well as that knew the husband, and they may start to piece some of these things together. And you know what else I think I would do if I was part of the police is perhaps, since he doesn't really know what happened, perhaps I should station a patrol car outside of the house there to try to make sure that that place is secured as best as it possibly can in case somebody else wants to come in and attack.
Now, police don't figure out what happened to Susan. Can a criminal investigation even go forward? For example, let's take the Lisa Stevick case. She vanished from her Plainfield, Illinois home in April of 2007. Her husband, Craig Stevick, was the last person to see her. It's still a very active case. Police say he is the sole person of interest. Craig Stevick denies any involvement in his wife's disappearance, and he has never been charged with anything. So my question, David Schwartz, can police make an arrest if they don't have a victim, if they don't find a victim?
Oh yes. You could actually arrest and convict a criminal defendant when there's no body found. Absolutely, it's been done before. If there's enough evidence to convict the person of a homicide, of a murder, then absolutely you can do that. But you need evidence. Again, you need evidence. You can't base a case.
Kiersey Hallowell, I want to give you the last word. you know this man. You've seen the videotaped interview. He's very hesitant. Does he seem like the guy you know, or different?
Not at all. He's acting very, very different. He's normally very loud and talkative, and he'll talk your ear off for hours, and he's not acting like himself at all right now.
All right, thank you. Fantastic panel. Let's pray we find Susan.